made a comment to Queensbury when Deb was in here about how your presence in Daniel's camp should be a concern for Anthony.
Well, yeah.
Because you know his boxing DNA, his makeup, etc.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me about how when you met at Petrol Station...
No, we didn't. That's a lie.
You didn't meet at Petrol Station?
No, I met Derek Chisora at a Petrol Station 5 years prior to meeting Anthony Joshua in the street. I didn't meet him. Him and his friends was in a car. I was driving my car, the same Jeep that you see just driving, but...
Just quickly going to interrupt here, guys. He's now going to rip Anthony Joshua for something AJ said. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but throughout the week, guys, there's been speculation. Well, they were asked about AJ and Don Charles, their relationship, because Don Charles used to train AJ, I'm talking years back, 2010 or 2011, just for a few years. And from what I know, AJ got told at the end of it to get out of the gym, just leave the gym. But there was a reason behind that, because at the time, Derek Chisora was Don Charles' fighter. It was actually Derek Chisora that told Don Charles to tell AJ to leave. And basically, AJ got asked recently, what happened to you, like with Don Charles? What happened to your relationship? Then Don Charles goes, yeah, I saw him at a petrol station or blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I came to his gym, trained with Chisora. Then after a few years, he just told me to leave and that. Like, he's laughing and that. He's like, that's it. Like, he just told me to leave. Like,
and that's all that matters. So yeah, what Don said is going to be irrelevant when the first bell goes anyway.
Of course, you're both North London guys. You're both in boxing. Didn't actually know you had a relationship before, like when you were in the amateurs.
What was Don?
Yeah.
Oh, I met Don at a petrol station once, and I was like, oh, you're Derek's trainer. I was like, oh, I'm trying to do this boxing thing. Can I pop down your gym? Pop down. I used to do some rounds with Chisora. We used to spar a lot. And then after a while, Don told me I should stop coming to his gym. And that was it. And I respected the man's wishes. And
from Meriden Way.
It's all love, innit?
Guys, we're going to take
so that's AJ's view of the story, and Don Charles has got a whole different version of the story. So this is interesting stuff, and he claims AJ's lying and not telling the truth about some stuff as well. And I don't know why Don Charles would lie about this as well. So there's definitely some things that are not true here. So let's hear what he says.
Not that one, but another one.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them over the years. They recognized my Jeep and they hooted me. It was daytime. They beeped me like it was a wide road, Finchley, Regent's Park Road, Finchley. They beeped me to pull over. I thought, I don't know these dudes. Yeah, but I can fight. Okay, I pulled over. And he got out the car to introduce himself to me. He was, I think, 19 years old. He said he'd only had 8 amateur fights for Finchley ABC at the time. And that's where the relationship started of me getting involved with him. Yeah, I won't expand on that, but that's so. Then I saw the piece. Then he went ahead to say, yeah, and I used to spar Derek. And then I called him up to say, don't come to the gym anymore. Lie, because that's not. I'm gonna tell my own story. I'm gonna tell my own story, how it happened. I've got video evidences for the whole thing. So don't dismiss me like that. That's not fair. That's not fair. I deserve better than that. You and Derek Chisora, who asked me to stop training you, hence why me and you parted. Yeah, now he's with you, one of the cheerleaders. Chisora, this is. If you know what these people have done to me, yeah, shameful. And all I've done for all of them is of good. Yeah, all of them.
Guys, I'm just taking a little bit back by what Don Charles is saying here, guys. You can tell this guy's not lying. I don't know the ins and outs of the story, but I have seen, guys, Chisora does lick Anthony Joshua's bollocks all day long. And if this is true, guys, that at the time where AJ was in the gym, AJ was an upcomer young gun, Derek Chisora was still part of his career. He told Don Charles, kick AJ out the gym. I can imagine Derek Chisora is a bit of that slime ball donkey type of character. So Don Charles kicks AJ out the gym. Probably didn't want to. He's a young gun. AJ probably took that a little bit to heart as well. So he had to part away with him. And now they're at a stage where Derek Chisora is one of the cheerleaders for Anthony Joshua. Says he's going to beat Fury. Says he's going to beat Usyk. Licks his bollocks, basically. And they dismiss Don Charles. Like, Don Charles is the next man. It's actually sad, guys, to think about it. I don't know. He goes, what these guys have done to me. Guys, sounds like some emotional stuff has gone on behind the scenes, like some dirty snakery. I don't know, I'm not saying it's AJ, but the fact that AJ just said, yeah, he kicked me out of his gym, and I I don't know if AJ knows it was actually Derek Chisora. So if maybe AJ doesn't know it was Derek Chisora that it was the reason he got kicked out, and Derek Chisora rolls with AJ like it's all day tomorrow. So that's quite kind of sad, guys. If I'm being honest, like Don Charles probably didn't want to kick him out, but if your main fighter is telling you to get rid of him, you're gonna obviously do what your main fighter tells you to do. That's what I'm hearing. So that's some snakery, guys. And AJ obviously dismissing Don Charles like, yeah, he told me to get out the gym, but there's more to it than that. But I did see AJ's interviews, guys. AJ was dismissing Don Charles like he's a next man. He was saying it doesn't matter what Don Charles says, he's going to find out on the night.
That's how he feels. But for me personally, I'm focusing on myself. I'm not focusing on Don. I'm not focusing on Daniel. Focusing on myself and what I've got to do. And that's all that matters. So, yeah. What Don says is going to be irrelevant when the first bell goes anyway. Of course.
Like, I don't know, guys. I can see there's a lot of emotion in this guy. And Derek Chisora, I think Derek Chisora snaked Don Charles or something. They don't really get on at the moment, from what I know. I don't know, guys, but I don't know, man. I'm not too sure, but you can tell this guy's got a lot of carrying a lot of pain. So a lot of people are cussing Don Charles in a lot of recent interviews he's done. I'll be doing the Talk Sport one very soon, guys. A lot of people say this guy's got too much of a chip on his shoulder. Guys, you don't know his fucking story, man. You don't know where he's come from. You don't know who's fucked him over, who's taken the piss out of him, and he's never been given a shot. So I'm all for Don Charles, guys. The chip on his shoulder, it's warranted, guys. The chip on shoulder is what allows him to fucking rip these fucking pricks. Not everyone, guys. I'm not saying AJ, but look at this snakery that he's exposing here. Derek Chisora is a snake. I'm not saying AJ is a snake, but I know Derek Chisora is one of those snaky characters.
Do you want to expand on that?
No.
Okay. Right, as we move, I feel like
Don Charles is not happy, man. Not happy at all, man. Mans have done him over. He's got this big chip on his shoulder, and you can't blame him, guys. And then they're cussing Daniel Dubois, saying he's gonna get knocked out, this and that. You're gonna do this to him. Guys, at some point that shit's gonna come around, and your favorite fighter gets knocked out and he gets humiliated, 5-round battering, beat down, and the whole world gets to see it. That's how it goes, guys. What goes around comes around.
I feel like we're going from the fight to other topics.
Well, yeah, honestly, again, obviously you're good at what you do. I didn't sit here. I wanted to talk about the fight. I wanted to make it brief. I'm a wounded man. Yeah, when everybody tell you you're gonna get knocked out, your fight is gonna... Do you know I'm only a human being? Of course, there's a possibility that could happen. One idiot, a well-established ex-fighter, went as far as saying that Daniel's gonna end up in hospital. Do you know how disturbing that is to me?
That's fucked, guys. And I don't want to name names because I don't know. But I thought it might be Tony Bellew. But I don't know, guys. I don't want to put Tony Bellew under the ground. It's definitely not fucking Spencer Fearon, guys. That geezer's just black magic juju. But I don't know, guys. I don't want to put Tony Bellew under the fucking grave. But that's nasty, filthy stuff, guys. Daniel Dubois is going to end up in hospital. Fucking hell. That's a bit low, guys.
Who said that?
I can't tell you. He knows who he is. He went as far as saying Daniel's gonna be put in hospital. That's really sick. And that disturbed me.
I think, though, I'll be honest, guys, I do get Don Charles. I do get where he's coming from. And a lot of it, I'm for Don Charles. What I would advise Don Charles, though, is similar to me. Stay off these fucking videos. Don't watch this shit. It's not worth it, guys. It's just negativity. Like, all these people that say crap. Guys, these people are not going to say it to your face. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll just talk around people. They'll do gossip. Don't take it too personally. But I can see where Don Charles is coming, guys. I'm with Don Charles, but the best thing, guys, is just to kind of just get out of your way. There's no point listening to crap, guys. Just stay in your own circle. Don't be like Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois doesn't care about it. Doesn't listen into it. Don't listen to no videos of what people got to say. Just do your job. Live your life. Live a fucking happy life. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that chip on the shoulder is good. It helps you. But you don't want to let that chip on the shoulder get so big to the point where it's not helpful anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Don Charles is there, in my opinion. I'm with Don Charles. All this shit is warranted. Every mother effer and his grand needs to get ripped. All the guys that fucking wrote Dubois off. And all the guys that are going to write Dubois off again on the rematch. Guys, I'm going to be coming for your heads, man. If the rematch happens, guys, trust me, man. You want to subscribe to my channel because I will be... I'm not saying AJ can't win, but trust me, man. There's some fights where people are just saying it. Oh, AJ has to win that fight. How can he even lose to Danny Dubois? Geezer, you don't understand fucking boxing then, innit? And these guys, these sheep are gonna have to get ripped. But let's carry on.
Right? The world is a wicked world, man. It's a wicked, vicious, wild world. People out there.
Don Charles definitely not wrong with what he's saying there, guys. Speaking facts.
Well, what was certainly wicked was the ending of that fight, and we touched upon it here, where Anthony cracked Daniel with a big right hand. Daniel took it extremely well. He's always shown a very good chin throughout his career, actually, Daniel Dubois. And
sorry to stop you there.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a guy who went down from a jab from Joe Joyce because he had a broken eye socket.
correct.
God knows the amount of pain. And he had the sensible thing to kneel down. There is such a thing in boxing, take a knee. Then he got dropped twice by Usyk from a jab, a southpaw stance jab. Then what I'm trying to work out, so how the hell a guy who's twice his lost in the past was by way of a jab? Explain to me how this guy's taken multiple right hands from Hrgovic, and we know Joshua can punch. Do you understand me? So there's a lot more people don't understand, yeah, when the mind is fixed, the power of the mind. The power of the mind. Everybody has that ability, the power of the mind, when you get it right. When you tune into the frequency of your mind, the universe, yeah, what you can do, okay? And yeah, so from now on to where, if it's written, we believe it is, and with myself, with my experience, and the team that I've got, your Kieran Farrells,
Tony Pill.
Ian Dewberry,
Yeah.
Gaddafi, who's our latest member, yeah? And Samuel Eto'o, the conditioner. Because without the condition, you can't execute the skills, yeah?
So guys, I'm just going to interrupt again, guys. Don Charles is spitting facts again here. So a lot of people before this fight, guys, were saying Daniel Dubois is going to get stopped by AJ because he kept taking right hands off fucking Hrgovic. He quit after he got jabbed up by Joe Joyce. He quit after he got jabbed up by Usyk. And people are like, he's done. But guys, Daniel Dubois showed in his last two fights versus Miller and Hrgovic that he's not the type of guy who's going to quit anymore. He'll just look like a different person in there. Maybe the old Daniel Dubois would have quit with those right hands. Those right hands were definitely harder than those jabs in terms of cumulative damage. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the initial Joe Joyce jab, that damaged Daniel Dubois' eye socket throughout the fight. In my opinion, I've made videos on this. I don't blame Daniel Dubois for taking away out of that fight because, guys, you lose your eyesight, you'll never fight again. There's a saying called live and fight another day. So that's what Dubois chose there. Now, he did it in the Usyk fight. In the Usyk fight, guys, it's a bit more hard to say what happened there because you could just say he quit. But that is a psychological issue. And what Don Charles had just said there, when you fix the mind, the power of the universe, you align to the universe. So Daniel Dubois had a psychological issue. It wasn't Daniel Dubois like when someone quits in the fight, guys, the reason you may quit is because it's psychological. It's never to do with the pain or anything. Like, no, that plays a role in it. Like, don't get me wrong, if your eye socket's gonna go, I'm in agreement with Daniel Dubois. I don't blame him. But maybe in the Usyk fight, but they sat him down. Remember, Don Charles only came to Daniel Dubois at the Usyk fight, very start of it. So he never really had a lot of time to work with him. But after that, it does look like the father and Don Charles have definitely helped Daniel Dubois psychologically. Daniel Dubois seems a bit like strong, like better. He seems a lot better psychologically. He doesn't seem fazed by a lot of things, guys. And yeah, a lot of people are just banking AJ's going to hit harder than Hrgovic. But remember, Daniel Dubois did take 40 right hands, guys, in a row. And he quit from 2 jabs prior. Basically, the proof in the pudding was already there, guys. So that's what he's trying to say.
And God is great. God is great because we're honest workers. We don't tell Daniel what he wants to hear. Daniel's father is usually, every session he sits on that bench.
Yeah, I saw him.
And trust me, it's almost like cracking the whip. Including me, everybody's on their toes. That's the sort of camp. There's no bullshit. There's no one kissing anyone's ass. Yeah? That's the result you see there, because we all want to win. We all want the fighter, give him the best, be honest to him, yeah? And that's the end product. Yeah.
I noticed how he said, be honest to him, like, they're not lying to Daniel Dubois, they're telling him the truth. You don't know if you can say that about AJ, but who knows?
No, yes, man.
No. And I'm an older citizen, so I'm a father figure in the sense that I'm not a boy. When I speak with authority. There's no joking around. We have a laugh. It's not all serious. We have a laugh. But when it's work, and Daniel's meticulous, he's methodical, yeah? He'll come in here, he'll hardly say hello to you because it's not because he doesn't want to say hello to you. He's here to work. No messing about. We'll sit down, bam. We've got a method, we've got a routine. I wrap his hands, bam. He's in the ring. Get his heart rate up, bam. It's methodical, yeah? There's no messing around.
Actually,
So Don Charles is basically saying when Daniel Dubois walks into the training facility, he doesn't really say hello even, he just wants to get into it. That's his character, guys. I remember there was a guy called Spencer, I'm not going to keep going into this guy, Spencer Fearon, kept saying Daniel Dubois doesn't say a biggest trainer up, he doesn't give credit to anyone. It's his character, guys. That doesn't mean because he's not big in his trainer up, he doesn't care about his trainer. It's all BS, man, that Spencer Fearon was saying. So Don Charles is saying himself that he doesn't really say hello a lot. He just wants to get into it. Like, it's not that he doesn't say hello. He just wants to get straight into training. That's just a character thing, guys. And he's not there to mess about. So yeah, let's carry on.
it's interesting you bring that up. There was a quote from Daniel Dubois today on Talk Sport. And this kind of expands on what you're talking about.
Okay.
He's just here to work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it out in a sec. So this is what Daniel Dubois said to TalkSport today. I was not going to freeze. I wasn't overawed or anything by the occasion. To me, it was like a stroll in the park, walking in there. I was just doing everyone proud, my family and my team. I couldn't let them down. I did myself proud. All the fights I've recently have been at top level, and I've come through every one of them. So yeah,
Correct.
I'm proud of myself. I was just doing a job.
That's right. That's how he treats it. I swear to God, the young man will walk through, like I said, the fields, which you come, look at the horses, look at Wembley, look at the horses, comes in, and like I said, he will barely say good morning to anyone. He will fist bump you, but it's strictly business. He'll sit down, get his hands rubbed, and it's on.
But isn't that refreshing?
Yeah, it's on.
So there you go, guys. There's the proof of what type of character Daniel Dubois is. Does that mean Daniel Dubois doesn't like his team? No, guys, he's just that type of character. He just wants to train. When he's in the training, he's not there to fuck about, talk, hello, be hello. Remember AJ, guys, before the build-up of this fight, AJ like took photos with the fans, and that's fair play. That's AJ wants to give back. That's his character. But that can sometimes be a detriment as well. You got to understand that, guys. AJ stood there and he took a lot of photos with the fans before the fucking 1 or 2 days before the fight, and I was like, this is a little bit too much. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You haven't even had your fight, and he's given like all this time to the fans, which is fine. Everyone's different, but sometimes when you got a job to do, guys, you just gotta be on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what he's saying to me about Daniel Dubois.
Because especially in this modern world that we live in, and you can't blame fighters for getting caught up with distractions, etc., because there's distractions around you everywhere. But I feel like Daniel Dubois has got that kind of old school mentality.
Well, yeah, you are the environment you keep, you are the company you keep, you know, it matters a lot. The people around you, the energy they have, what type of energy they have, what's their purpose for being around you, yeah? We didn't have, unless you're in the team, immediate team, you couldn't be in this room while we was preparing. Nobody was allowed.
Just to go back to that fifth round when Anthony landed that shot and Daniel took it extremely well, as I said, and came back with a fantastic short right hand on himself, which was enough on that night for Anthony Joshua. Just talk to me about your emotions when that right hand landed from Daniel.
Because it's already been practiced and rehearsed, and so it was no surprise when it happened. And if you notice, I never even celebrated.
Neither did Daniel, actually. He waited for Anthony to be okay.
Correct, yeah.
So Daniel Dubois, guys, both of these guys didn't really celebrate when they beat Joshua. Even Daniel Dubois, if you notice and you go back, Daniel Dubois didn't really want to celebrate after he beat AJ. He waited. One of his teams came running and rushing to kind of cheer him on. Daniel Dubois' main concern was checking if AJ is alright. That's the type of character you're dealing with here, guys. He's not there to say, "Oh, I'll beat AJ." That's not his mindset. His mindset after was to see, "Oh, is AJ alright?" It's a different type of mindset, guys. That shows what type of a guy Daniel Dubois is.
Don't believe any of the members of our team celebrated, and my legs were bad anyway. I normally jump, and because I've been ill, I couldn't get the lift off that I would normally have. I'm a big guy. And so also I know Anthony very well, so it wouldn't be right for me to start celebrating and stuff. Just want to make sure he's okay. Actually, I believe I spoke to him briefly in the ring, and he said he was fine.
Was there anything else said between you two or not?
Pardon me?
Was there anything else said between you two?
No, just like you do. Are you okay? And I know, as irrespective of what I've just had my little blowout, it's something I've been carrying for years. Okay, that little blowout earlier on. The kid, I'm a positive man. When you look at the positive sides of everything, where there's a negative, there's a positive. They have to coexist. What he's done in boxing, what he's done it's been like, what is it, 11, 12 years?
Yeah.
And look what that kid has done, yeah?
So, guys, a lot of people are saying this chip on Don Charles' shoulder is him being like an angry sort of guy. He's not happy for everyone. He just wants to bring people down, or he's got like a bad side to him. He wants to see people lose, like AJ. He's got hate for AJ or whatever. It's not the truth, guys. He's just had a bad experience, and he's held it in for a long time. So you can't blame Don Charles, guys, for like kind of going at everyone. But look, this is the proof that he's bigging up AJ, guys. He's not discrediting AJ. He goes, look what AJ's done for the sport. Like in 12 years, he's changed the game, and it's true, guys. So it's just a side, guys, that you might not see from Don Charles.
I always say it should be celebrated. It will. People are not appreciated. Any art, whether it's a musical artist, a sketch artist, yeah, people don't get appreciated while they're active. It's only after they think, oh my God, they were really good, right? What he's done for the industry worldwide, and in this country in particular. Like I said, every 400 meters or so, there's a boxing studio springing up. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua, yeah. And and for me, having the closeness I had with him, it was also a bittersweet thing that it was me engineering, not his downfall. I don't like the word downfall, to stop him to achieving what they wanted to be a 3-time world champion. If the choice was given, but we had no choice. Yeah, I would prefer it wasn't him. Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying.
So you